Congressman, always good to talk to you.
Happy to be with you again.
The Daily Caller, as you've heard, has obtained these emails showing that the Department of Justice was collaborating with Media Matters to try to smear and discredit reporters, media outlets who were covering DOJ scandals like Fast and Furious. Your reaction when you first heard about this today?
Yeah, I just could not believe that the Justice Department, who you think is an objective arbiter of things, is actually coordinating with beyond what anybody would consider to be reasonable with an advocacy group. Now, Media Matters may argue whether or not they're an advocacy group because they're a 501c3 organization. But if you go to their website and read, you can definitely tell they're a left organization.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think needs to happen here?
I think we need to. Look at the 501c3 status of Media Matters, and I think this is just more evidence that the Justice Department under Eric Holder is out of control, and it's more evidence that Mr. Holder is not fit to run a lemonade stand.
So do you think, as far as accountability, we're talking more than just his public affairs director, but also the fact that he needs to be, again, we've been talking about this with Operation Fast and Furious, but he needs to be held accountable for what's going on in his department?
At some point, the buck has got to stop here. And I can't imagine in whose universe this sounds like a good idea. Sure, politicians will leak stuff and work more closely with friendly journalists, but you'd think the Department of Justice would be above politics.
I mean, they didn't just help these guys write their stories. They pitched stories to them.
They did. It was more like a consulting firm.
Yeah, it was like a PR firm, absolutely.
And again, the 501c3 organization, again, I guess, all our congressional office and stuff, we'll reach out to organizations that have interests in things to get information and do that sort of thing. But the Justice Department employing spin doctors, you'd think the Justice Department is supposed to be about the truth.
Yeah, I mean, in your mind, another sign of desperation on the part of this administration?
Either desperation or evidence of mismanagement all the way to the top.
I mean, you look at this and you got to say, what the heck happened to the First Amendment under this administration?
Well, and you wonder why everybody says the media is in the tank with the administration. Here's just more evidence of it.
Yeah, I mean, is there, from what you know and from what you can tell, is there anything legally wrong? I mean, have they violated the DOJ? Have they violated a rule or a law or a regulation?
I think that's something we're looking at. That just broke while I was on the airplane to Washington this morning. So I'm sure there are people looking at it. I do really think the 501c3 status, the nonprofit status of Media Matters, they're pushing the line if they're not over it.
Yeah, you really got to wonder, though, if other departments within this administration are doing the very same thing, as you called a bunch of spin doctors.
Yep, and I'm just the Justice Department, above all, you think they're above the fray in the media, but this administration, it is all about spin.
Yep. And, I mean, here comes this story, and we're set to hear the Inspector General testify on his report about ATF's Operation Fast and Furious. You imagine that he'll be getting some questions about this, too?
The Government Oversight and Reform Committee, we have some broad jurisdiction. I certainly think it's a question worth asking. I can predict the answer, that this is, being beyond the scope of the investigation. But the follow-up question to that is, will you be willing to investigate the propriety of the cooperation with the Justice Department with various outside organizations?
And on top of all of this today, a Border Patrol station in Arizona has been named after Border Patrol Agent Brian Terry in a dedication ceremony today. I'm sure it was a day filled with all kinds of emotions for the Terry family, everything from pride to sadness to frustration about this investigation. Your thoughts on all of that?
I'm ready for this to come to a close, but it's not going to come to a close until we get to the bottom of it. I really am looking forward to hearing from the Inspector General. His report is going to be based on a bunch of documents that they wouldn't turn over to the Government Oversight and Reform Committee. The question is it going to be a fair and objective report, or is it going to be a whitewash?
Yep. And when it comes to this issue with the Media Matters and the DOJ, who would look into this as far as on Capitol Hill? Would it be the House Oversight Committee?
I think the House Oversight Committee would definitely have jurisdiction over it, and I would imagine we'll be taking a look at it. I would be surprised if we have it. Most of the members are not back on the Hill yet. The House doesn't go into session tomorrow. I came up early to clear off my desk.
Yeah. You talk about credibility for Media Matters. I mean, they went after Cam and I here. I mean, there's a long list of people they've been monitoring and watching,
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the close interaction that they're having with the Justice Department, it certainly doesn't pass the smell test.